I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just want us to always be, to always be.
From the first time I set my eyes on you, I didn't know from the start. I didn't know how you turned my life around, or how in love I'd be with who you are.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to JTOL TV Talk. And you know I'm doing my favorite week out of all the JTOL TV talks. Power Couple Week is my favorite week. I'm sorry, I know I got my hat on. I just ran in the house like 10 minutes ago from Apostle Julie got married. So I was hanging out at their wedding and the wedding reception, and I ran home so I can do this broadcast. But you know what? I'm so honored to do it though. So listen, we've had some great couples. We've had the Williams, we had the Kareems, we've had the Boatmans, we had the Hopkins, and now we got the Red Hots. We got the Reds up here. And so I'm so excited to have them on. Listen, can you do me a favor? Please share, like, go to JTOL Productions and like that page. Oh, I forgot the Charleses. We had the Charleses yesterday. So please go and like that page. I know I'm kind of hyped, y'all, so bear with me. JTOL Productions on YouTube, IG, as well as the Facebook. So listen, I'm excited to hear their story, how love got them through it. And I like to present to others and introduce to some, Jeffrey and Mary Red. Hey!
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
I'm good. So I'm so excited to have you all on. Thank you for rocking with us on JTOL TV Talk and Power Couple Week. And people always say, what makes Power Couple? In this year, it's how love got us through it. So I'm so excited that you guys accepted the invite to share some wisdom, some insight on how love got you through and to be sustained in your marriage. So I want to ask, how long you guys been married?
29 years.
She got it right.
It's been that long.
Yeah, I always get it wrong. It's been 29 years.
You were just a baby yesterday.
I know.
So 29 years, y'all got a lot of stuff to share. So listen, I'm gonna drop down. Tell the people something about yourselves. Wrong one. Wait.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Jeffrey Red. I am an accountant. I work for Murdoch Financial Services. I'm an elder at Kanos International Church, where my pastor is Dr. Carolee Dixon. And the 29 years I've been married to this lovely wife is the 29 years I've been at Kanos International Church. So that's where we met, that's where we started, and that's where we are still at. Yes. So through it all, we just thank God for us being together.
Yeah. And I'm Mary Red, cousin of Sonia Green. And I am currently working for Detroit Public School Systems as a sustainability teacher at various DPS schools. And we have 3 kids, a set of twins, that's 25 going on 26 this year, and a 34-year-old. You know, I didn't know she was that old. Anyway, our oldest is 34. Her name is Jasmine, Jeffery, and Jamia. And come from a large family. And I go to Kanos also, as he mentioned. We met at work, and actually I got him to come to church with me.
I don't know if our host is going to go to that point, but we're just going to say that if she do, of how we met. I don't know if that's going to be part of this conversation.
So wow. So yeah, she's right. I want to go tell everybody she's family, but we grew up together. We stayed down the street from each other, and we got in trouble together, and we praise God.
Praise him.
So
Sonia was my protector. She
listen,
and the
and
other
still
family
is.
members, they protected me because I was the youngest. So they got in trouble mostly because of me, I believe, protecting me.
We do have an extremely large family, so thank God that we love her. We love her. So you're right, Jeffrey. This is why I can't stand talking to prophetic people, because they always all in my note. Yes, that was my next question, Jeff. How did you guys meet?
I did, but actually, what Sonya, first of all, how did we meet? See, that was the funniest part, how we meet, because we go back before I met your cousin.
Absolutely, because yeah,
Actually, I was at Union Grace Missionary Baptist Church, where Reverend May G. Smith was my pastor at that time. That's the church where I grew up at under with my mom. And Miss Green was she was one of our musicians. And that's how we got to know each other before I even knew that I would be connected up with her cousin
yep.
9 years since then.
Because our daughters used to play together.
Yes.
Chantel and Jazz. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so let's get back to the question you said. How did we meet? It was I always say it's kind of humorous, how our story started because yes, we did meet at work. At that time, we was both working for a handling company out in Troy, Michigan. It was kind of a big company. I was at one end of the building and she was at the other. So how the story came about as we are getting together is I had a young lady in our department. She was one of our secretaries, and she was talking to me about this young lady over in the other part of the building. I didn't know who that person was. So she was just telling me, she was saying, "Oh, I got a perfect girl for you. Her name is so and so, so and so." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, been there, done that." So come to find out, in my department, in the accounting department, we had like this long hallway that goes into the other building. So just curiosity, this young lady caught my eye. And the next thing you know, I guess that was the seed that started the whole thing going. I did not know her name. She did not know my name. So one particular day, had to go over to the other building, and I had to go down in the basement area. And just so lo and behold, she was at the front desk. And the funnier part of this thing is she said, "Good morning." And I said, "Good morning. You don't have to say good morning to me. Just say hi." And she got offended. And she was gonna, give me a piece of her mind, as young ladies do at that time. She was gonna give me a piece of her mind. But at that time, I went downstairs and came back up and I never saw the girl again. So
That would be me.
yeah, that would be her. I never saw her that rest of the day. So now I think she can take it forward from real how we actually met.
Well, it's funnier. I was actually trying to set him up with a friend of mine. So I was asking him questions about him, and is he taken? Is he seeing somebody? So I was getting all the info for her. She was, sitting at the desk, and I was over there getting all the information. And he kind of was like, "What do you mean? Am I attached?" And I said, "Well, either you are or you're not. There is no in between with being attached to a person." So I'm like, So anyway, I was telling him about my friend, and then he was looking at me. He was like, "Well, I want to talk to you," and I'm like,
Exactly.
I was like, "Huh? How did that happen?" So
because she kept on asking the questions and her friend wasn't. So I guess my attention went towards her instead of her friend, because I didn't even know that was her friend at the time when she was asking these questions in front of her. So in a way, I got kind of what you called blindsided.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. So.
Yeah. So that's how we met. And we went to a wedding together. And 29 years later, here we are.
I heard about the red. 'Cause I was like, who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we may even talk that day. Before that, I think we talked, and you said I'm going to the wedding with somebody. I'm like, you didn't tell me the name. And I'm
Yep,
like,
you're right. We did. We did. I remember that now. We sure
I'm like,
did.
who is it? We got his social security number, his ID. Oh yeah, we be on it. So
Well, now
yeah,
even in that, it wasn't a date. It was just
No.
I was supposed to meet up with her. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a date. We didn't
Click.
think of it as a date or anything like that. It was just she said, "Well, I'm going to this reception that her friend was getting married in the company." And at that time, she was as put it, she was available. I was available. So we just said we was going to go as what, co-workers.
Yeah.
We were just going to go as co-workers
Because she
just
was
to
a
the event.
coworker, so we were just gonna go as coworkers.
Yep.
I just love you too. So okay, so let me tell you. Let me ask you this. So what was your ideal of marriage, and the idea that you had of marriage, or we all grow up with these ideas. Has that marriage been that for you?
Well, actually, it has been above my expectations. At the time, I just, marriage to me, was commitment. It was, of course, it was love, commitment, and to understand each other and to grow each other and to build a family. Uh, uh, Doing some of our trials and tribulations and our experiences, we have overcome that. That's why I say we have succeeded it because some of the things that we have went through as a couple, I believe, if you're not strong in your faith, it would have tore us apart.
Mhm. And my ideal marriage was, I'm a girly girl, I always have been. So I wanted the knight, the shining armor, the kids, the palace, the all of that, big house on the hill. And even though he was my knight, and he does shine because he make my heart happy. I got that part right. But the castle and all that stuff, no, that didn't happen. And it's fine because we make it do what it do and work just the way it is. And I wouldn't trade it in for anything.
That's awesome. That's awesome because we all go with these expectations. Matter of fact, the world tells us what we should think marriage is until we get in and it'll be like, it ain't, she ain't, what's that? She's not Cinderella and he's not Prince Charming.
Yes,
Exactly.
So,
that's exactly it.
and so, yeah, so we have to, we going in with these expectations. And this is why I love Power Couple Week because we kill that myth and say, man, this is not it, but I love what God gave me.
Mhm.
Amen. Jeffrey got me talking preacher ELP. I'm trying to get into that. Amen. Praise God.
Bless him.
Bless the man of God in
Integrity.
me.
Integrity.
Hallelujah. So Jeffrey, listen, this is a sidebar since I know. So when you found out Mary had, I'm trying not to call her Mary B.
You can.
When you found out that she had such a large family, what was your reaction?
Oh, I was outdone, to say the least, because I kept on thinking, did I do anything wrong to any of her people because she come from a large family. Now, I wasn't intimidated as far as like if I do something wrong, I'm gonna have everybody coming at me. It was just that her family is so huge, and my family is like, I guess I'll put it this way. I'm like the country, what you say, the country of the Netherlands. She's like Africa. Her family is Africa, my country. So you see how big her country is compared to mine. So I was like, I'm just this little old person, but I wasn't really intimidated with her. I just had to at every what was that? I think at every family get together, I met someone new for about the whole year. So it was like, I never seen you before. Oh yeah, I'm her cousin. Oh yeah, I'm her uncle. Oh yeah, oh okay, gotcha.
Mhm. Hence Mary baby. So you can imagine us growing up and cousin Mary talking about this your cousin didn't remember nobody. So you can
Mm-mm.
imagine it's so we and I don't think listen, I think and I'm getting off topic, but the last time we had the biggest family reunion, we had it had to be about 500 or 600 people, Mary.
Yes, it was about 500 or 600. It was so many. You just looked around like, oh my God.
There was just so many, and how people have peeled off from, like, so you got what, 8 Jordan girls and 3 Jordan men. I think that's when we did it, and it's just a
Troy.
lot of family, you
Yeah,
know.
it was in Troy. Our last reunion like that was in Troy, and we took
Hmm.
over the whole city of Troy, Alabama.
Yeah, yeah. Hence Mary likes it down there. I don't.
I love it.
Grandma and Carolyn, all that. I'm sorry, we're supposed to be doing the show.
Okay,
I don't like it down there.
I
So
love it.
Uh,
okay, let's move on. Just talking family stuff. Okay, so we found out that even though Mary said, she had, like, fairy tales, Anita Baker, and Jeff, you was just like, and I know Jeff, I know your parents, so I know you had a good foundation. So you just rock with what you rock with, and so I'm glad to see that, because a lot of these what I've been hearing throughout this Power Couple Week is that there has not been what do you call it? There's always a partner who didn't have a solid family structure. And then there's the partner who did have a solid family structure. And what I mean by that, either the dad wasn't there or their parents married more than once. And then you have the parents who's been there 20 together all their lives so far. So I'm seeing, it's just awesome to see. And I've learned so much from these things. So let's just move on to our next song. So listen, before we do that, let's take a commercial break. How about that? Let's just
Great.
chill out, give y'all some chance to get y'all thoughts together, and we'll be right back. Hey, thank y'all for watching JTOL TV Talk, where I am your host, Sonia Green, also known as Hot Sauce, with my special guest, my favorite and special guest, Mary and Jeffrey Red of the Detroit Reds. And I thank them for being on here. We just getting in, we just digging in. Listen, share, like, tell your friends about it. We'll be right back after this station break.
Easy on the chain.
Savage,
Sports,
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 savage.
sports.
Are you ready? You know what I mean? It's good collard green. We stay on the scene. Good collard green. You know what I mean? It's good collard green. We stay on the scene. Good collard green.
I want to say this to you all, being prophetic apostolic people. You are vital. The gifts that you have in your life are actually tools and weapons that God has sharpened in you to bring freedom and deliverance. Apostle Ivory Hopkins, the general of deliverance, saying, "Get her done, soldiers. And always remember, God, He is watching."
Welcome back to JTOL TV Talk, where I am your host, Sonia Green, also known as Hot Sauce. I'm here with my favorite and special guests, Jeffrey and Mary Red of the Reds of Detroit. And we have been talking about Power Couple Week 2023. They are Power Couple number 6, and we're so excited to have them on because they've been married 29 years. That's a long time to be married and with someone, and trying to trying to bring all. Mary baby got everybody, and Jeffrey only got a few people. He said he stayed in the Netherlands, back up in the yonder fields, and Mary just they just created a city. That's what it feels like.
Created a continent.
The continent. Blame it on them 8 Jordan girls. So, but we've had great conversation. They told us how they met. Mary wasn't thinking about him. She was minding her own business. And again, there's a common thread. She was trying to hook him up with somebody else, and she was like, "No." He was like, "No, I want to holler at you." So listen to this. So let me ask you guys something. How do you handle tough times? How do you handle that? Tough
I'm
times
go
when they
first.
come.
Let me go first. Well, there are always going to be tough times, but we've learned each other enough to know how far to go with talking. Sometimes he has to process stuff, and I just let him process whatever is going on. And first and foremost, uh, I know this is not a churchy session, but you can't be in Christ and not bring him in your conversations. So we pray together. We get fed from the same table, which is our pastor, our church, and we read the word together. We pray with our kids. And the best way to get through tough times is get a plan. Plan on not staying in it, trying to find your way out of it. Sit down, get some paper, pen, back in the day, write it down, make it plain, and figure out a way to get out of it instead of dwelling on being in it. That's my take on it. And that's what we do. We sit down, we talk about it, and figure out what's the best way for us to come out of it, or to make it work. You want to add something?
No, you covered it quite well.
Thank you,
I
dear.
love it. I love it. So that's so good. So let me ask you this then. So when you both when you don't agree, how do you handle that? You don't bump heads. How do you handle disagreements between the two of you?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm the one. I guess I need to handle that one because, well, yes, it is true that I always look at it like this. And when we first got together, we both made a pact. You know, uh, try not to keep everything in. And then of course with men it's hard. Especially I had to learn. I had to learn to open up. I had to learn to, no matter how small or how big the disagreement is, we have to talk it out. And my wife and I, we stand on 4 principles. The first principle is keep God first. You know, we keep God first. Second principle is communicating. And then when you keep God first, and I'm talking to everybody, no matter what denomination you are or what faith you believe in, you keep that in your life. Then after that, communicate. You know, we have to communicate. We have to talk to each other. And then my third one is laugh. We laugh around here. I think I'm the most clumsiest person in the world, and I trip and do stuff, and my wife laughs at me. And for me to be like, I'm supposed to be the man, supposed to be strong-willed, and say, "What you laughing at?" And she laughed. She said, "That was fun." And then after I look at it, it is fun. It was fun. And then the last but not least is keep our eyes on each other. You know, so when we go through tough times and when we don't disagree, either she'll do something funny or I'll do something funny. And we'll laugh. And then before you know it, we'll look at each other and say, what were we talking about? What made this discussion or what made this disagreement happen? And before you know it, it wasn't really nothing. And I know we do have big issues, paying the bills and stuff like that, but that's secondary compared to those little net things that gets us really all tied up. So we talk it out. And I can tell. That's what I tell couples. I say, talk it out. Just be yourself, no matter how small it is. Just tell your spouse, "Hey, we need to talk about this, and then let's work it out." And then with me, my wife, she always believed never go to bed angry. So I had to learn that. And then as I learned that, brothers, I do not want to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about something that happened. I want to go to sleep and get my rest because I had to go to work in the morning. and she go to sleep to think. That's why she gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning to ask, what did I do to get her mad?
That's funny. I do.
So we talk it out. So
Yeah,
that's the best I can tell you. We talk it
we
out.
talk it out. But sometimes with certain situations, you don't want to talk about it right then. It's okay. If your spouse or partner, whatever, respects you enough to say, okay, I'm gonna give you your space. Like I said earlier, give them space. If they don't want to talk about it right then, but don't leave it just there and just not talk about it. It's just right then you may not want to talk about it, or you may need to decompress. Because sometimes you get so angry over nothing and you figure out that was nothing. But once you thought about it and came to your senses or whatever, then you're able to talk about it. But sometimes you don't want to talk about it right then because it leads to arguing. And I don't do that. We don't do that. We've been stopped doing that years ago. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome, awesome. I love what both of you have shared. Some wisdoms on about don't go to bed mad.
Mm-mm.
You
Because I'm
know,
gonna wake you up. Because if I ain't happy, you ain't gonna be happy, and you ain't gonna sleep. We gonna talk.
all right. So let me ask you something. So when one of you are disappointed, how do you comfort each other? If Jeff comes home, so like he said, Jeff, a boss may say, Jeff, we want to give you this promotion. We're gonna give it to Bob. In 2 years, we'll give it to you. But you were looking forward to it. Mary, we're not gonna give you a new car or whatever. I'm just trying to throw some stuff out there. Not that this is gonna actually happen, but how do you handle when Jeff's disappointed, Mary? What do you do for him? And Jeff, what do you do for Mary when she's disappointed?
I remind him who he is. I remind him of who he is, who our daddy is, which is Christ. And I remind him that people are not our source. So they have what they have planned for us, but that's not what we have planned or what we've discussed as a couple. And this ain't the end of the road. And I let him know that I thank God for him and I appreciate him in everything that he do. I try to make him feel appreciated and let him know this is not the end. This may be a little battle, but this is not the war. We didn't win this one, but we're gonna win the war in the end. So uh yeah, that's how I try to comfort him that way to let him know that as soon as you walk in the house, this is what you born to work for us here in this house. Don't let them people out there get on your nerves like that. It's not that serious. They can't do nothing. So yeah, that's my answer.
And then what I would say to her when she come home depressed, or she come not depressed, excuse me, when she come home disappointed, or something didn't go exactly like the way she had planned, and vice versa, I would say the same thing to her. I would tell her, who is your source? God is your source. And with that too, I'm glad that we both came under a ministry and we are taught the same thing, you know. So by us being targeted during the message that our pastor gives us, she may not catch on one I guess you say one part of the sermon. I may hook onto it, and vice versa. She may hook onto a part of the sermon that I didn't hook onto. So then as we go from week to week, if disappointments happen in that week, we can go on what our pastor has said and we can go back to the word, and that will comfort us and that will pick us up to let us know that, yeah, I mean, yeah, this didn't work out, but guess what? God supplies all our needs. And then we just flip it so that we can encourage each other and strengthen each other. And like the book says, iron sharpens iron. So that's what we sharpen each other up.
And he gives the best hugs. That's my safe space. When he know I'm sad or depressed or something, he just give me a hug and I just melt like, okay, I feel better. I'm safe. Because he just made me feel that way. I'm just safe and I know that he would never do anything intentionally to hurt me. And he would always try to protect me and shield me from stuff. And it just feels good. Just even that hug it speaks volumes for us, for me.
Hey man, listen, we got 10 billion cousins, and I don't see where them jokers at.
They on my phone.
Yeah, baby.
They on my phone on my live.
Okay.
Wait a minute, where you at? Okay, they on my phone. I told them to go to your page so they could let you know that they're there.
Tell them stop acting like that.
And they right here on this phone. Yeah.
So yeah. But listen, Listen, yeah, because Facebook is doing some crazy algorithms. I don't even get Kyron stuff anymore. It's just really crazy. I don't know what's going
know.
on. So anyway, back on subject. I'm sorry. This is we family, so I'm sorry. This is what we kind of do.
You're fine. You're fine. And I meant to say earlier, that hat is saying something, cousin. You hear me?
Girl, listen, I
Don't take
gotta
it off. It's cute. You hear me?
hey.
Yeah.
It's in them
Somebody
jeans.
looking dangerous.
Hey, it's in them jeans. It's in them jeans. So listen, I love talking to you. You know I love being with my family. Listen, guys, we're gonna take another station break, a commercial break. We'll be right back. When I come back, I want to know what's the best wait a minute, what's the best things about being married and what's the worst things about being married? All right. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for watching JTOL TV Talk, where I am your host, Sonia Green. Listen, we're having a great conversation. You have to forgive us. We're family, so we will dibble and dabble out of family conversations. We just do that. And we'll be right back. Hey, please like, share, go like JTOL Productions on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as the IGs. And just support. You ain't got to watch it, but just go like it. That's the least. It's Black History Month. I'm Black, I'm a female. Let's do something with that.
That's
God
right.
bless you. We'll be right back after these messages.
Now, class, Mr. Tiger will show us how Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes cereal starts out.
Just a flake field?
It's a cornfield. Kellogg's toast corn to golden flakes and adds a secret frosting. Helps keep them extra crunchy and delicious. It's part of your good breakfast and tastes.
I know, great! Sit down, breakfast with Tony, and you'll discover why it's great.
Mr. Tiger, you're wonderful.
Oh, shucks.
Welcome back. How long has it been since your last confession?
Too long. Each wrong made right brings me a little closer to where I belong. One soul at a time.
I met someone special.
Special like mom?
Like, I'm ready for us to be a family. And I know you want that too. Yeah?
Yes.
Hello?
What is your confession?
I know what you've done, Christian.
Nicole, baby, is that you?
Please let me help you. Confess your sin or lose Nico.
Nico! Why are you doing this?
You have to make this right.
Sometimes I tell myself,
Confess, or he will pay the price.
I can save them. I can save them. One soul at a time.
Who are you? What do you want from me?
What is your confession?
Welcome back to JTL TV Talk, where I am your host, Sonia Green, also known as Hot Sauce. And we're here for the sixth couple of Power Couple Week, which is Jeffery and Mary Red, the Reds of Detroit. And we are having a great discussion. They've been very candid. They've been honest about their lives and not just to tell on themselves, but hopefully that someone will hear something that will cause that they can see it in themselves and say, if they can make it.
Okay, call me right back.
Listen, I'm gonna put you down there. So I just want to say, they say that if they can make it, we can make it as well. So God bless you. So we're coming back, and we left off with asking you some questions. And the first question, well, not the question, but the last question I asked you guys was, what's the best thing about being married and what's the worst thing about being married. And it's not a bad thing. Like, I don't like the way he leaves his clothes on the floor, or something like that. It's nothing bad. Just what's the best thing you thought about being married and what's the worst thing, because it's two becoming one. So
Well, I'm glad you said that it's two becoming one. We figured this out in the very beginning of our marriage. When you have like two different people, two different fashions. I mean, I'm trying to get in there. There we go. And you putting something together, there's going to be friction. It's always going to be some kind of friction until you get in there right. So thank God that his family was raised like my family. My family was raised like, it was so hilarious because things that he remembered coming up, growing up, the same things I remember. The people coming over after church and eating and having gatherings and always making you feel welcome and comfortable in your home and overfeeding you, because we will overfeed you. My family will feed you. His family is like that too. And his morals and values were basically just like mine. So we didn't have that as an issue per se. And I don't see anything bad in marriage. I don't understand. I just don't. I don't see any a downside to being married, other than if you get married and you wasn't ready to get married. That's the downside, because then you're gonna just mess that all up. Other than that, uh, you have a partner, your best friend. He is my best friend. And I tell people that all the time. He's my best friend, and he still made me giggle after 29 years. I still laugh. And he's my best friend. I can tell him anything. I have his cell phone code. He got mine. We answer each other's phones. We have no secrets like that. It's just a good feeling to know that you got somebody you can depend on. Far as a partner and a husband, that's the good thing. You got somebody you can depend on, and that's got your back and would never do anything intentionally to hurt you. And he's a protector, so he's gonna protect me and my kids. I used to tease people and say I could go to, because I was traveling for Chrysler for going places. I said I can go to China and come back, and my kids gonna be just fine because they daddy gonna make sure they have A, B, C, D taken care of, because I trust them that much. So that's my answer.
And then we serve each other. I serve her, she served me. So it's not well, I served you more than you did to me today. So guess what? Tomorrow I'm not gonna do anything. No, what I do and what we try to do each day, we serve each other to the best of our ability. Then once that day is over, when the sun goes down and when the sun rises up the next morning, guess what? It's a do-over. We start all over again to serve each other and to be. I'm supposed to be there. I'm there for her. She's there for me. And actually, she is my best sermon. You know, she's my best sermon. She is my, I used to laugh. She used to laugh sometimes when she used to hang out with her cousins and they would go places. And I'll tell her, I say, okay, what's your name? She'd say, my name is Mary. I said, no, what is your name? She said, my name is Mary Red. I said, that's right. You representing me and you representing us. That was just a sidebar. But for me to say that is it just each day we serve each other. And because if you really look at it in the Bible, Jesus was a servant leader. He served the people. He served the people with compassion. He served the people with love. He served the people. He even chastised his disciples. He served them. So in that, we serve each other. And like she said, any bad thing, if a bad thing comes apart in marriage, she and I, we work it out. Um, I used to tell her, just like she said, our principles and our morals and our values. She's always tell everybody, he came way on the east side to marry me. And guess what I said? You came way on the west side to find a good man. So
he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. I was found.
Yes, she was found, and I'm glad I did find her.
Thank you.
But I just want to let her know I grew up on the west side. She grew up on the east side. So in that, I found her, and then in that, we know the bad. See, everybody can get bad. We know the bad of everybody's family. What she and we did was we took the good parts of her family, we took the good parts of our family, my family, excuse me, and we joined it together. And that's what raises our family. And I always call our family what? Team Red. That's
Yeah,
us.
that's
We're
us.
Team Red, and we do the pounds and everything. Get up in the morning. If she was going for an interview, I tell her Team Red. I'll pray for her. Team Red. Our kids got something. Team Red. See, we build on what our our family has, and we took the good parts of that and meshed with each other and went forth from there.
Wow, that's good. That's good. I thought you was gonna say, "What's your name?" Come on, Mary. I thought you were gonna say. I thought you would say, "No, Mary, baby."
Right.
I
I
thought that's what you
still
were
call
gonna
that.
say.
And I don't mind. I still don't mind being called that. It's so funny because
It's,
I
go
am
ahead,
the
go ahead.
baby of the Mary, so I don't mind being called that.
Listen, that's all we know. It wasn't our fault. Like I called Biscuit. It ain't my fault. That's what they
That's,
said,
yep,
right?
I still call her biscuit too.
She get mad at me and Mary, baby. But that wasn't our fault. Yeah, that's what your mama told us. So
Yep.
that's good. I love to hear that Team Red. That's awesome. And that's good when the team, when one, and you said it right. I just want to say this about Jeff. I think Jeff. I had to known you over 30 some years, and I want to say ever since I've known you, you've always had a servant's heart. I will attest to that. I cannot, even looking at you when we were at Union Grace, I can always attest to that. I can't say anything bad about you. I wouldn't say anything bad about people anyway, but just as they say, let your light shine that men may see and speak of your good works. So I just wanted to say that you've always had that heart. It wasn't something that just manifests. It was just something God gave you from the day He thought, I'm gonna make Jeffrey. Yeah, so I
That's
just
right.
so I just wanted to attest to that. You've always been, and plus I'm partial to his mama too, because she loved me.
Yes, she did. Yes,
Yeah,
she
she
did.
love. Yeah, play them drums. She be looking over there with them brown, them hazel, what's them light brown eyes and cheesing. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, let's move on. So I love what you said, Mary, and I want people to know that marriage is honorable. Men do not have favor until they find a wife. You may have some success, but you won't have
Yes.
no favor until you
Exactly.
find the wife. You out here shacking up is not finding your wife. We still have to obey the laws of the land, and the land says in order to become one, you have to be married, and God honors that. So I just want to say that is really, really awesome. I know, Mary, baby.
That's fine.
Mary, baby has been. We walked through some stuff, and I've since she's married you, she has been the happiest she has been, and I must say that all the time. I know a lot of people like you don't see her a lot. Let me tell you, she knows I'm watching somewhere, and I know she's watching somewhere. It's too many of them. You hear me? It's too many of them. I can't remember them all. So I just be like, I know, hey, know your face. I can't know your name. Hey, I know you cousin.
Look, I
Hey,
know you family. That's it.
know your family. We all got that same right here. Hey. Well, anyway, let me move on. So listen, I want to ask you, Jeffrey, you said something so profound, and I wanted to really talk on that. You said you took the best from your family and the best from Mary Baby's family. And so from that, you brought together and you became one. So what traditions have you guys created just for your family?
Well, it's more a combination of most of our fellowship with our church. We did things together. We started, first of all, in my family, we took vacations, but my father didn't go. You know, he sent the money, he paid for the vacations, but he didn't go. With me, I wanted to be that part. I wanted to go on vacations. We took family vacations every year. We go somewhere every year as a family because I wanted my family to see their dad instead of being the dictator, the pick up your clothes, do this, do that. They wanted to see their mom and dad relax, laughing, giggling, singing, just having a good time and relaxing. So that's one of the things that we instilled in our family. And then uh, at one point in time when our kids was growing up, we didn't have a TV in the living room. But we all came together in the living room and we talked. Communication. We just talk, and we'll talk about this, talk about that. They laugh with us. They shared things that happened in school. We laugh and enjoy each other's company, have talk time, and then because my wife and I, we wanted our kids, no matter what the situation is, no matter how bad it looks or how bad it may, they may think it looks, they can always come to mom and dad, and we can sit there, we can talk. I tell them all the time, I say, yes, I may huff and puff a little bit, but I'm so glad you came to me that we can talk and try to iron it out.
Yep. So yeah, that's it, Sonia. We have talk time. We didn't have a TV on purpose in the living room. We made that decision. So because that was before the games became big. That's when the other little games was out, but they was on them all the time. There was no cell phones at the table, at dinner table. We talked and and had that communication open. That's it.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Wow, that's nice. It's nice to hear. Intentionally not putting a TV in the living room, and that's where the family gathered and had those conversations. Listen, Mary, what's the name of that church around there Cousin Mary went to?
True Vine Temple of Christ.
True Vine Temple of God. Let me tell you, Jeff. Let me tell you a story.
Okay.
So we was around the church in New Salem, right? So Cousin Mary and them knew I played drums, right? Cousin Mary, you can't tell Cousin Mary no. I just want to let you know. There's no saying no. And then when Mary wasn't there, and if I was walking down the street, come here. So I had to fill in the kitchen and other things. So anyway, Cousin Mary said to me one day, Sonia, I can't remember the name she called me. She had a name for me. And she said, I'm doing something. I want you to bring some drums down here and play drums. I'm like, Cousin Mary, where am I get some drums from? I found some drums. Yes,
Okay.
So yeah, I tell you, and then when I come over to True Vine, especially when I come over to True Vine, man, and that time I think we may have visited every other year or something like that. But the time they came and I played them drums, I think they talked about me more than the pastor.
Yes.
So, but it's just love. I just want I always say that our family we don't love our elders because we're forced to know them. We love them because we truly love them. So anyway, let me get back on subject. Let me get back on here. So I'm sorry. Just reminiscing. This is what we kind of do. Have to go back down memory lane. Okay. Here's all those photographs kind of made me laugh. So I'm gonna say, drop down one more. I'm gonna play one more commercial. But before I go, because we're at our last question, I want you to think about this. What advice would you give those who are thinking about marriage, those who are in tough times in marriage, and those that are, they may have been married 5 or 6 years and haven't even had no weight in marriage, and the struggles and things that they're coming through, or if they're having good times, just anything within that. What advice would you give those couples? And we'll be right back. I just lost this commercial, so bear with me because I'm sitting up here messing around with my cousin. I'll be right back.
I say this to any marriage that's in a bad place, or couples who are considering getting married, but y'all are in a bad place. It was a wisdom key that has helped me in Evelyn. Nothing is ever solved constantly going back to the past. If you want to bring a healing to your marriage, you're going to have to own your past. Call it what it is. I did it. I done it. I confess it. And then let each other agree to build a new beginning. Something in this society is happening right now wherein it's a craziness that people's past sins, failures, weaknesses, even ignorance
can't change. Well, I believe in 2 Corinthians 5:17, that if any man or woman be in Christ, they can become new creatures. Old things can pass away, and all things can become new.
I've never been on a blind date before. I'm just a little nervous. He is so poetic, so fine, and he is such a gentleman.
The homie is lying to you. You need to get out of there right now.
You in April.
Hey, who you talking to?
Cousin Bridget in Alabama. She online looking, so I was saying hey to her.
Oh.
I was saying hi to her.
Hey, cousin.
Yep. So you say hey. I showed them your picture and everything. I put you up here.
Okay, so here's the last question of the night, and I'll free y'all from your assignment for JTOL TV Talk. And really, 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 I appreciate you guys really taking the time and sharing your pearls of wisdom and knowledge about how love got you all through being married 29 years. No, it wasn't perfect. No, it wasn't the best, but we're here.
We right here.
And we still loving each other. So I asked you before, you know, what advice would you give those who are considering marriage, in marriage, having trouble in marriage, happy in marriage? What would you just give any couple just from being married 29 years?
I'm gonna go first, I guess. I would think that if you're thinking about getting married, make sure you don't overthink it. Make sure you know it's a partnership. Make sure that y'all have a lot in common. You know how people say, well, I can change them. Probably you can't. Only God can change people. If they're doing it now, they're probably gonna do it then. So that's something to think about for the new people getting married. Make sure that that's what you want to do, because it's supposed to be for life, and that's the way I feel. So make sure you know that's what you want to do. You can wait and see what's going on, but you know, just make sure you in it for the long haul, and just know that there's nothing that you can't get through. Far as life issues, things that happen, because life will basically suck the life out you. So there's things that you're gonna have to deal with, but if you deal with them together, and here I go again, and put God first, you got it made in the shade. And not saying it's gonna be easy, but the outcome will be different. If you do that. My son is getting ready to walk in the house, and he don't know we're doing this, so just pay him no mind, y'all. And also, I don't know. And I guess just make sure that you keep your eyes on your mate. And I'm gonna say it just like I said to him. My students used to say, the older students, not the younger ones now. Them high school tomorrow. Oh, Miss Mary, keep it hot. Yes, you have to keep your marriage spicy, have fun, still go on dates. You have to do those things. Don't just stop. You know, make sure that y'all still going out, bowling, reading, whatever y'all like to do together. Make sure y'all just spend some quality time, just you and your mate. If y'all have children, if not, just make sure that you know that you make them happy or make her happy.
And like I said before at the beginning, you know, we serve each other, you know. Make sure I used to, when I was little, they used to always say that marriage is an institution. I used to always say that institution. But as I have gotten married and I'm still married, I noticed that marriage it evolves. I am not the same man I was when I was 28 years old. Thank God, but I give all praises to God and then on our leadership of our pastor, Dr. Curly Dixon, who gives us wisdom and nuggets that keep us going. When we got together and we talked about marriage, she counseled us. She made us understand all the little parts of marriage because she told us one thing. She said, excuse me, she said that man and woman are to mate. That's the first thing, okay? But it's that spiritual foundation that you need to keep it going. So I thank God that I'm not the same man I was when I was 28 years old when I asked her to marry me, and she said, "Hey, I'm not that type of person." But I'm glad now. I have grown, and she has grown, and we have grown together. And she'll say something and I'll finish the sentence. She'll start the sentence and I'll finish it.
So
or
annoying.
I'll start the sentence and she finishes it. We've been together, so long, and we just enjoy each other. And I just thank God that I found someone with like minds, with the same yoke, with the same principles, same values. And then what we did on that, we started with that, and then guess what we did? We build on it. And then by building that, we created a family. We created a loving family, and a lovely house. It's not a house; it's a home. God is the forefront of our house. He is the leader. He is our guide. And then our pastor, she is under him. And we just listen and adhere, and we work it out.
Yes. I'm gonna add one more thing to that. Make sure you keep your business in your house. When it comes to a disagreement, I don't discuss it with nobody outside because I'm gonna forgive him and he gonna forgive me. It's the other people that still be mad about it. So you limit that because you don't want someone else giving you advice about your marriage who probably either isn't married, had a bad marriage, and they got all their baggage. They give you that advice with baggage most of the time. If they're not counseling you in spiritual, that's just baggage that they done had and thought that they had. And make sure that your marriage fits you and him. Don't worry about somebody else's marriage and what it look like. Just make sure that you happy, he happy, and y'all have trust and all that good stuff, and the other stuff will work itself out.
And then I also like to add on that, sometimes I look at it like a neighborhood, Each neighborhood, each house is totally different. It's what you do in that house to make it work, And that's what we do in our house. My next door neighbor may not do what I do, but guess what? If his house work and they keep working at it and they're fine with it, good. What we do in this household, we make it work. It's fine. It works for us. So some stuff that we do, it may not work for other people. But guess what? You have to find what works for you in your household, and then make it work. And as our pastor always tell us, walk it out.
Walk it out. And I got one more thing. Keep it hot. Keep love alive.
Yes, and I'm still smiling.
Come on through here. Keep it hot. Mind your own business. Listen, stay out of my business. I'll stay out of yours. All right, I love it. I love it. Hence what God has brought together, right?
Right.
Two become one. Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, I thank you both so much for sharing your wisdom, your insights on marriage. Power Couple Week 2023. You are number 6, and the Reds of Detroit. And I thank you, or Team Reds of Detroit. Thank you so much and y'all forgive us. Me and Mary kind of do this all the time.
Yes.
But thank you both for being on it. I really, really appreciate you being candid, being honest, sharing your wisdom, your nuggets. Hey, we talk about God all the time. He ain't an absent figure in my life. If people have a problem about you mentioning God, then they probably shouldn't be watching JTOL TV talk. We talk about God. Yeah, he is the he is my life. He's not just the head. He is my life.
Yes.
So I just want to say thank you both so much. I love you both. And I appreciate
it. Thank you for having us. This is beyond what I expected. It's so awesome, and I'm gonna make sure that our family page support you more because they don't know what they're missing. So I'm gonna just make sure. But I tell you, you're doing an awesome job, and I appreciate you for having us. And I can say we had a good time.
Yes,
we did. It was enjoyed ourselves, and thank you so much.
Mary baby may be the baby, but she carry a big stick. I thank y'all and know that I love you all and appreciate you. And they do have twins. I was looking at Jeff. I'm like, Jeff, when you get a dimple? I know Mary baby had deep dimples. I'm like, he got a dimple. Must have grew
I had one. She had two. And,
yeah, I'm like, look, I think Mary baby
did have one.
Men. Ding. You can't have two, but I give you one of mine. So listen, thank you again. Tell us how we can find you if we wanted to just ask you some questions. Where can we find you on Facebook, or how can we find you on Facebook?
Yes. And that's another thing about this married couple. My Facebook page usually turns out to be his because he doesn't have his own. But if I'm on there, trust me, he's looking at what I'm looking at. We laughing and whatever else. So you can find them on our Facebook, on my Facebook page, Mary Red. Just Mary Red. And I'll accept you as a friend. Yeah. We transparent. I'm like this all the time. So yeah. And I'm on TikTok. Auntie Mary baby. I'm under Auntie Baby.
It's under Auntie Baby. I'm about to find you.
Yep.
I remember the first time I heard somebody call her Auntie Baby. I thought I was gonna fall out my seat. That was the funniest thing I ever heard before in my life.
Yeah, anyway. He called me Auntie, and it was a little Corey. He calls me Auntie Baby instead of Auntie Mary Baby. He just took the Mary part out. And then now that generation all call me Auntie Baby. The older generation call me Auntie Mary Baby, and the younger generation, they all call me Auntie Baby.
Wow. Well, it's so
and
funny.
I'm Uncle Jeff.
Yeah, Uncle
Jeff. Yeah, I hear them call you Uncle Jeff all the time. Uncle Jeff, you just Uncle Jeff. Ain't nothing. Yeah. Wow. Well, listen, y'all. I just thank you again. I really have enjoyed this. I really don't think people realize how big our family really is. We have a humongous family. And I think each of the girls had maybe about minimum 6 kids. And from those 6 kids, they had 1,000 more kids. So we we just like Uncle Charlie. I know I'm probably blagging on, but Uncle Charlie, we'll talk about this. Hold on. So thank y'all for watching JTL. Thank you for being part of JTL TV Talk Power Couple Week 2023. It is marked in history. Hold on, guys. I'm putting you in the green room. Jeff, don't eat up all my food, and Mary, don't cook. Hey, thank y'all for watching JTL TV Talk. Listen, forgive me. That's my family. And we always just reminisce. And you know how it is when you have family on the show. So thank y'all for watching us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Listen, do me a favor. Can you go and just like my page, JTOL Productions, on the YouTubes, on the Twitters, on IG, and just support. If I can become better, listen, if you can make me to become better, I can become better for you. So God bless you. You have a wonderful night. Listen, check it out, y'all. Listen, we got Judge Donald Coleman coming on. Him and his wife are coming on tomorrow. And they are our last power couple for 2023. And they're going to share with us how love got them through it. So God bless you. You all have a wonderful night. Listen, go and love somebody, hug on somebody. Make a difference. Make a change. Good night.